You're listening to Nextcast on Payments.com. What's next in payments?
This is David Evans. I'm here today with Sarah Hartman from TSYS, who's going to tell us about their new hybrid offering. Sarah is the Senior Director of Payment Solutions at TSYS. Sarah, what's the TSYS hybrid offering and how does it work?
Our TSYS hybrid offering is actually a credit card which has special capabilities on it which gives the cardholders really complete control for what they elect to pay now versus pay later. And to explain that a little bit further, the cardholders establish preferences up front, and they do that by using very easy-to-navigate web pages. And then those preferences are applied to transactions once they've posted to their accounts. So, for example, the cardholder can determine what they want to pay now versus pay later, either based on dollar amounts, types of transactions, or a combination of both. And I can give you a couple examples of that.
Yeah, why don't you give me a couple of examples?
Sure. So the customers might decide that any transactions that they're conducting that are $100 or less are transactions they want to pay now from perhaps their daily spend type of an account. And perhaps they then also want to set up their home improvement type of purchases or some larger dollar purchases for a pay later type of category. They can set that up that way, or they could even, for instance, set up vacation types of purchases that once they posted to their account that they would pay now for those from perhaps a vacation account that they had set up and saved money to pay for their vacation.
So this is a product that you're encouraging your issuers to adopt?
Absolutely. We're making it available to them.
Great. What led TSYS to introduce this now? Is it a response to something that's happened with consumer behavior? Is it a response to regulation? Is it a bunch of things?
Well, the short answer is it's a bunch of things. It really was a combination of factors. Number one is we are a processor, but our clients are our partners, and they do expect us to provide them with a variety of innovative offerings for them, and this is one thing we can do to help them differentiate themselves. But to your initial question, we do believe the timing's particularly good given the economic environment, some of the regulatory changes, and then certainly what's going on in the industry today where we see consumers changing those payment behaviors.
And when and where did you introduce the TSYS hybrid card? I assume this is a U.S. offering?
It's U.S.-based initially, although we are involved in a number of discussions with interested clients outside the U.S. The initial development, and I'll call it initial because we do see additional development as we continue to roll this out. We completed the initial development late last year. We aren't actually live in the market with a card with this capability. We're working with a number of existing and potential clients.
What kind of consumers do you think this is going to appeal to?
Well, certainly as with any offering, it'll appeal to, different consumers, not all consumers, of course. Based on the research we've conducted to date, we believe it'll be particularly attractive to both consumers and small business owners who use multiple cards for purchases, customers that are comfortable using the Internet, and also people that value rewards.
Do you own this category at this point, or do you have some competition?
We're not aware of anyone else in the market that's offering a product with the unique capabilities that our TSYS hybrid provides. We do have a patent pending on our offering, so that's something that I should note. However, when you talk about the hybrid category, when you start talking about alternative payments, of course, there's a lot of different things going on in the industry with different options that consumers have, and I think that number will likely continue to grow.
Now, there are lots of different kinds of features that you could have included in the card. How did you go about deciding what to include, what features to develop, and what not to include?
Well, it was I would define it as a iterative process. I guess the first step, we do have a very talented and innovative staff here at TSYS, and the initial concept came from a couple of teams within our IT organization. Once they had the initial concept sort of mapped out that it could be shared, kind of a proof of concept, it was shared with others internally, and then we did also start talking to some of our clients, so that as we moved into the formal product development, we had a lot of good input. We did continue to refine and modify it based on that input, and of course, with any product development effort, there was some give and take because you can't always put everything imaginable in with your initial launch.
Well, we all know in the payments business that it can be difficult to get consumers to change what they've been doing. Did you do any research to figure out what the best ways are to encourage consumers to try out this new kind of card?
And that's a great question, and probably the most important, because as you mentioned, it is difficult to get consumers to change behavior, and you need to make sure what you're offering to them is something that will get them to change the behavior. As I mentioned, we did conduct several formal focus group sessions with consumers. A couple of our clients also conducted some formal research as well. And what we heard from that research was very encouraging. It showed consumers got it, which is probably the most important thing to get them to use something new. They liked all of the aspects of it, but they did point to rewards as the single biggest driver for them to really change what card they'd pull out of their wallet.
So is the rewards component for the hybrid card designed to get them to pull the card out as opposed to encouraging them to engage in any particular kind of behavior with the card?
Really just to use the card more often. So again, the goal is to conduct more transactions on the card. Now, certainly the overall offering needs to appeal to the consumer, but the rewards would help them to use this particular card with the hybrid functionality over perhaps another card they have in their wallet.
You mentioned that there were lots of things that you could have loaded into the card, but obviously you couldn't do everything. Are there some important things that you're thinking about that could be part of the next iteration of the card, and anything you're willing to share with us?
Sure. Overall, we're continuing to kind of capture the wish list of items. And continuing to look at the marketplace and industry trends. I'd mention a couple of things. We do believe mobile will continue to play an important role in really all of our TSYS products. We have things today like alerts and contactless stickers, but we think that will continue to expand for more payment and marketing types of applications. We think that's particularly strong with our hybrid functionality, just given the preference setting and some of the other capabilities there. Certainly prepaid and having a prepaid component has come up in a number of discussions. So I would say those are probably two of the big ones. But again, just as with the initial offering, we continue to rely on feedback from our clients and the end consumers, so what we're offering them will best meet their needs.